education to mothers since they have more time. Definitely not as much as depending on the situation, but might not have the same workload as an obstetrician. But this can also allow obstetricians to focus on high risk pregnancies, which is what they're pretty much training for. Um, so there is another issue that can occur. So, for example, um, one of the biggest issues that is occurring in the labor world is a high number of inductions, and the number has just been increasing throughout. And inductions are necessary whenever there is an issue going on. So, for example, it's better for your baby to be outside of your body than it is to be inside of your body because your body is not either being hurt by your baby growing or your body is hurting your baby as a result of it. There's something going on that we need to get this baby on out. However, there is no induction without no risk. There is an increased risk of uterine rupture, which is pretty much your uterus kind of either thinning out to the point where almost your baby is just kind of exposed to the outer layer of your uterus, or your uterus actually like tears open, which sounds terrifying, but it is very rare. There is an amniotic fluid embolism that could possibly occur with an induction, and that is pretty much like a cardiac and respiratory as well as a hematologic event. That causes a result of some fetal product being introduced into the body, or there is an increased risk of postpartum hemorrhage. Um, so right here, as I've listed right here, there are multiple different reasons as to why people could be induced. However, there are a few that are not valid, and in the next slide, we're going to identify which ones are. So, appropriate reasons for labor inductions would be, for example, if you have an infection of the uterus, if you have gestational diabetes or diabetes mellitus, or if you have chronic hypertension, preeclampsia or eclampsia, if you have pre-labor rupture of membrane, so pretty much your water has broken, but you're not on labor yet, your pregnancy has lasted more than 41 to 42 weeks, and we are so used to 40 weeks we're done, but they can go longer. You have health problems such as problems with your heart, lungs, or kidneys, or there are problems with your placenta, or there are problems with the fetus, such as poor growth, or there is a decrease in amniotic fluid, like a significant decrease. Those would be appropriate reasons, according to the American College of Obstetricians. Poor medical reasons for labor would be if you have just made it to 37 weeks. So 37 weeks is term. Like you're like, okay, you know, you believe that your baby's done growing, but there is still some maturing that is done in those extra weeks that are given. Um, and also, it's just better to let your baby, if if you're healthy, to let your body spontaneously go into labor.